Is it acceptable to mention Allah's name during intimacy? So one of the first dua that an individual makes before he begins or before he enters upon his wife is a dua, right? Bismillahi jannibna wa jannibna min ash-shaytan ma razaqna. So taking Allah's name during that is fine. And this is actually one of the sunan that the Prophet ﷺ taught us before we're intimate with our wives. Is it permissible to abandon a sibling relationship due to a personal conflict that I feel was betrayal? It depends, right? So I would always seek advice on issues like this. These aren't personal decisions that we should make. A lot of times when we make decisions, we make them out of heavy emotion, and sometimes anger can overcome our logical engagement with others. So if I'm upset with a brother or if I'm upset with a sister, I should always take shura. I always take advice from others. I know sometimes we'll be like, oh, well, I tried talking to my parents. Like, parents are always going to be biased, right? They always want their kids to get along and they want their kids to be close. And I think that's normal. But I think taking advice from outside of that circle, maybe going to your local imam, going to an elder, going to someone who you trust and being like, hey, listen, this happened between me and my brother, or this happened between me and my sister. What do you think? And that way it's always good to get that third party opinion, because many times I can be like, oh, well, he wronged me, he took advantage of me. And there are cases where I've had people come in, I said, okay, well, did you tell him this before you borrowed the money, or did you say that before you did this? Or like, okay, well, what were you guys fighting about? Did you involve a third party, to see if somebody could help reconcile? And many times people are like, well, no, I didn't do that. It's like, okay, well then your brother or sister, they're not completely wrong. So I think that's something that's important. Sometimes people are very petty too, right? It's like, oh, I'm never talking to my brother again. It's like, why? Oh, because he didn't invite me to his daughter's wedding, right? Like, and it's just like really small, petty things like this that I don't think justify cutting off relationships. I think having healthy, balanced relationships is something that's really important. There's no doubt about that. I don't need to be best friends with every one of my siblings, right? That's not something that's necessary. I don't need to be super close with every one of my siblings, but I should not abandon them. And even some of us have like really toxic siblings. Some of us might have siblings that took advantage of us or hurt us. It doesn't matter, right? We should always do the best that we can to be supportive, not necessarily have a very close relationship with them. And I think sometimes this can be very challenging for us. There are a lot of people that we have in our lives that I think that we love, even though those people might hurt us. And sometimes it's good to love people from like a little bit of a distance. I was addicted to pornography in the past, and now I'm scared that no one will marry me or that my future wife will leave me if she finds out. Is there any hope for me? Of course, there's always hope. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can forgive somebody from making shirk, which is the worst of sins, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can forgive anyone of any sin, of any shortcoming. What efforts, if this is something that you suffer from, what efforts have you made in overcoming it? One piece of advice that I will give to everyone is that marriage is not a cure, right? I want to be very clear. Marriage is not meant to be a cure for diseases. Marriage is meant to help. There's no doubt about that. But if a person has alcohol, substance abuse, pornography, a liar, these things aren't going to stop once a person gets married. And the other problem that sometimes we have is that as a potential wife, I'll be like, oh, I'll save her or I'll fix her. No, you won't. Or I'll fix him, or he'll get better. No, after he has a kid, like subhanAllah, I remember someone in my family, they had gotten married, and while they were getting married, most of the family was like, hey, we don't think this is a good idea. Like he has a drinking problem, and like he has all these other issues. No, inshallah, once he gets married, he'll be fine. So they got married. Oh, his mother is so bad, like the mother-in-law, she's so bad, she's the reason, and like this is why they're having so many problems, blah, blah, blah. She passes away. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on her. Oh, once they have a kid, inshallah, he'll get better, and blah, blah, blah. They have a son, they're like, oh, well, no, inshallah, once they have a daughter, inshallah, he'll get better. Allah musta'an. They ended up having like 3-4 kids, they ended up divorced, it was like really bad, really messy, like still has a drinking problem, still has, abuse issues. Like, we can't fix each other. We just can't. That's not our job, right? That's not being fair. It's not my job to fix my wife or my father or my daughter. Or It's not my job. My job is to provide pathways to help them so that they can improve. My job is to be supportive, right? But it's not my job to fix. And if I know, and many times, like even when we're in these relationships, or if I'm planning to get married, I'm worried about, okay, well, you know, what if this person finds out about my past? That's that person's decision. You know, when we get married, and if someone asks a very blank question, like, you know, did you have this problem, or, you know, were you in relationships previously, and blah 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 blah, you can very easily say, you know, I'm not really interested in having that conversation, but I don't think this is going to work, and that's fine, right? I think that's you don't have to share everything, or sometimes we allow ourselves to share and see if that person is willing to engage in the relationship. And the other thing I want to keep in mind is when we talk about these things is, listen, you're not looking for forgiveness from that person. So if I'm looking to get married and I have a problem from pornography, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and our children, ameen. And I'm now talking to this young woman, and she's talking to me, and she finds out, I don't need her to forgive me, right? I need Allah to forgive me. I need to forgive myself, right? That's the most important thing. She needs to determine if this is going to be a good relationship. That's it. That's her job. My job is to determine if this is going to be a good relationship. And if the condition for marriage was being free of sin, then none of us would be free of sin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. Ameen.